if we look at the data once more, similarities on hero pool could be, but one thing also just stands out here is the maneuverability of the Arlie. So the question here is, will Boom Esports take that step in prioritizing that farm lane hero as they ban out the Mai Shiranui and the Diadea, seeing the Yuan, the staple bans that we see. But the question is, will they go for that priority though?
Yeah, they're clearly tuning into the English cast, right? We gave Diadea a little bit of a hard front in that first game because he kind of was just like a non-starter. There was no real oppression from that hero, but I feel like the Huon and the Dolia makes a lot more sense. There's a lot more combos with the Dolia, and then Huon right now, there's a lot of junglers within this competition that go for the Huon. Most proficiently would be the likes of Dao Dao on Fearless Esports, but it looks like Azar wants to go for the Arlie.
Okay, looks like the question has been answered, going back on what they can do best. So might maybe prioritize the farm lane early on, but also giving out the Dama and the Zhang Fei. So with this can open a Lady Sun to be used by Nova Esports too. So they're given signals here. What could be the possible counters? But as we go and see here, the next choices of Boom Esports, will they go for the mid lane option or just maybe go tanky with their jungler? They have been doing great with the Musashi, but I think they want to change things up a bit. Something about maybe a strong front line.
Yeah, and how many times have we seen in the highlights where the Dharma goes in with the Flash Truth, knocks them back, Zhang Fei on top with the Unbridled Outburst, like this nice little 1-2 punch that they got going. Great start to them, and of course they're just going to go with the Lady Soon, very popular. But Boom Esports, on the other hand, they're going to go with the Dune, and the Ganon mode was a little bit later. I think that they're in a better spot because, you know, again, Nova Esports, yeah, you have the Zhang Fei, but you're not as tanky, I would say, so you have a little bit more of an opening into this draft lineup.
I think the issue is here, though, right? I mean, we could see a tank jungle come over to the side of Nova Esports, or if Musashi doesn't get banned out in this next pick phase, we could see the Musashi come through, and that is a direct counter for the Ganon mode.
Yeah, and that was a great start for Nova Esports, landing on cards correctly because they know that they have the farm, the farm laners has been taken by Boom Esports. Good thing they banned out the Angela too, because Nova can still pick it up. They still don't have a mid laner just yet. Banning out the Liu Bang doesn't really settle things as well, but it is a great counter of the power pick of the day. Maybe Liu Bang is just a great way to get that duo wombo combo that we see. And oh, the Swansea too. Oh, okay. Okay, it makes sense since they don't have any tank for Boom Esports.
Yeah, I mean, it's more so for the likes of the anti-CC, right? So with the ultimate, you can kind of cleanse any kind of anti-CC. The shield is very dominant and would really complement the likes of Arlie and Ganamo, because the Shuangzi can go in and just give that. But the Shangguan is obviously a direct aim at Wendy. But I feel like because they've gone for the Lady Sun, I feel like Wendy was naturally going to go for something like the Princess Frost or the Lady Jen anyway. Something that doesn't really need those resources, right? Because they're going to be pulling the Lady Sun into the mid lane more than likely at the first part of Game 2 to give over more resources to get her activated a lot quicker than Muji.
Yeah, that's the mid-money thing, right? As we see from the farm lane and the Rome as a starting rotation. And that gives an advantage as well to getting your XP in. So with the mid lane being targeted down by Boom Esports, Lady Jean popping it off, slowly we're calling it here, and it's a great addition to this frontline control. You have the backline too, and then team fights such as Boom Esports can commit against them. Yeah, the destructive deluge and the flowing side is just amazing in this kind of lineup to counter.
Yeah, I mean, Wendy can land those trick shots as well, so it goes into the right hands, right? You got the destructive deluge that can kind of zone out, or you can literally say, hey, use the unruly blade, but I'm kind of going to land this big circle of death on you. So you choose what you want. You pick your poison, right? So we got to see what Boom Esports do here. They don't have the Clash, so they could go for the Byron again. They could try and go for something like the Charlotte to go onto the Lady Sun, but they're going to go for the Byron again, right? Go for the Lianpo into the support role. So impressive going for one of his favorite picks, right? Other than the Zhang Fei.
Well, this really puts a pressure to the Lianpo. Like, Dharma, Zhang Fei. This is just front and back, man. Like A to Z. A to Z front line countered. And Lianpo, either he takes on someone up front, not unless Lady Sun could be open. But Nova Esports and how they want to put on team fights, there have really been an amazing maneuvers coming from the initiation from the Zhang Fei and the Lady Sun moving towards this kind of lineup against an Arlie. So you just need to be careful when to position this. And oh, that was a beautiful. The Musashi shining through against this Dun. There's so much reach for Nova Esports to be picked off against Boom.
Yeah, I feel like the Musashi is more of an issue, right, compared to the Shangguan. Shangguan, yes, is great, especially for the likes of a player like Wendy. He can get in with the finishing strokes and do some really good early game plays, but then when he gets into the mid game, late game, that's when we kind of see that 66% team fight rate from Boom, right? So they're going to be stuck together. Finishing stroke is not going to hit the same as it would on a single target. So the Musashi makes sense going into the Ganamo to try and take out Ganamo, lock down the Ali, but then I want to give a shout out to the Liempo, right? I feel like Impressive's main motive in this team comp is baiting Dharma's truth mantra because you get the CC immunity from the Magma Slam.
Yeah, so timing will be in check. We are given this a chance on how Impressive will pull this off, the Lee and Poe with Azar. So this is like a chance to see. But as expected, we see the mid-money start here for Muchi as well, for the Lady Sun. I think this is what Nova wants. Like, they know that the RLE is not yet in time to go in for attacks, but they want to keep their cards right.
Yeah, look, I love Nova's draft. I think it's like their identity. This is the kind of traditional draft that they would draft out, but you cannot really count out the Aegisics, Adun, Impressive, Lee and Poe. These guys are monsters on these two heroes. These team fights are going to be crazy.
Yeah, they just need to perform well. In this lineup, a lot of things could happen here depending on how Muchi would want to start their early game. Like early as of now, not yet much of a damage, but in terms of zoning, you have ways to push it through. But again, we expect more. We will expect on the adjustments too on how the signature picks or the comfort picks from these three players of Boom Esports would really mean the resolution in game number 2. Let's see how this goes. So far, it's just zoned in out, getting information on where they're countering this, but Impressive here spots in 3.
Yeah, they're going to do some damage, but the flash away, Impressive just trying to get to safety. He's going to be knocked up and he's going to be killed. CY will get first blood.
Yeah, it's the only problem when Boom Impressive plays this kind of playstyle with the Dune, right? As Pyring it with the Liempo, he kind of sits around, makes sure that Jizix doesn't get picked off early, because then obviously CY goes in and gets a bit more of a experience and gold go ahead. But then but Impressive goes down. He's level 2, right? He has 2 skills. It's not much in his kit.
Oh, top lane. Oh, Juan, Formlessness back under tower. There were no minions, so he does get away. He's going to try to go for the Pheasant here with the Enlightenment over the wall. Not able to do so.
Yeah, going back to your point there, Blam, like the early game for Alien Pro is just so hard to tank all the defense. He's not that strong just yet. He used his flash, he used his skills to just get back on his feet, but the Nova and the early game advantage for damage, it's just too high. So with that kind of situation, yeah, he needs to be careful on where to get that information right off Waypit, because against this hero Zhang Fei, it's much stronger compared to the lineup in the early game.
Oh yeah, massively. I mean, it's a great counter engage thing. I mean, I'm not to try and like dismerit the Tremor Smash from Liempo for not being a great counter engage, but CUI taking a lot of damage there. I feel like the Unbridled Outburst is definitely a means of, it's got more of a direction, right? That's got a circle, this has got a straight line.
Impressive. Not level 4 yet, but he's going to kind of just zone things away, needs to deal with the minion wave, but Nova Esports have done a lot of pressure on this bottom T1 already.
Yeah, I was thinking about the circle and the straight, man. If he lands the perfect Unbridled Outburst and Musashi is just right onto the corner, it is an automatic reach for Azar too. So it's deadly to see, right? Okay, we're looking at the gold comparison slowly building by G6, and so far they're not yet letting go of how they want to start this game. Again, the lead is slowly with Nova Esports. We've seen a blazing hit slowly being built up by the Musashi too. Probably this is like the first item to go here, because most of the team members of Boom Esports are incredibly early game tanky.
Early game tanky, yeah. I mean, Jizix Salva step in here, doing a bit of damage onto Wendy. The Destructive Deluge does actually get put down early to kind of just deter that team fight. They don't want to take it. Nova sense that they would not come out on top. But here, we're going to see more of a focus into the farm lane. They may take a fight here, but...
Oh, in the mid lane, it looks like they want to go. CY did the duel to the death, but he didn't get the finish. He's going to back off. He's going to try to run for his life. The Wind Slash has been dodged, but CY, bad spot. Azar's going to get the pick off. They also find Xuan. They do have the knock-up, but they don't have the follow-up or the minions to continue chasing.
Like I was saying, they're going to take the fight into the mid lane for the side of Boom Esports, but they open up the T1 down into the bot lane, which for Ali means that she cannot now be safe in her own lane. She's going to be having to get resources from elsewhere. More than likely, Macro plays up into the clash.
Yeah, we might expect that switch moments now from Azar, because they can't commit this opportunity for Nova to just be taken away from them. Look at the rotation as well by Muchi and Waypit. They're really rushing it up top.
Yeah, up top right now, maybe a little bit of a setup here for Muchi. He's able to get a bit of damage onto Impressive early on to kind of keep him away here. Jizzix tries to land the Wind Slash but misses. A little bit of a whiff there for the side of Boom. But right now, they've kind of got to just try and throw the skills out there because, I mean, on the Dune, right, they don't have the longest cooldown. They're able to kind of expand them, try and take the shots a little bit more than you would on a hero that has longer cooldowns, but Schwan there is able to get out.
Yeah, like in the series yesterday, Boom Esports, it took like till game 2 against Fearless Esports to really wake up. I kind of feel like it's the same thing with this one, where they kind of, they got punched in the face with game 1. Nova really took it to them, but Boom Esports are definitely playing better in this game.
Yeah, in terms of the push too, like they not letting go of the most important turret just yet, but it's just the top lane end of the Clash lane, and we've seen also being in a dangerous situation, just the unveiling of the camp. I know has been committed, but they're doing with the counter pressure too. So just need to be wary on who to target here for a tankier side of Nova.
Oh, Jizzix all the way in the heart of the enemy team. That's a bad spot. Unruly blade back, but the burst ram even forward. Impressive trying to go, but he needs to be careful. The Unbridled Outburst used in return, and Impressive is going to fall. Miggy now taking a lot of damage. He's going to bring back that flowing sky, and it's going to bounce around awkwardly.
I mean, they was able to get the kill into the mid lane, right? But then you also see here that Xuan was able to lead this minion wave up until to the T2 into the farm lane. So you see Nova being classic Nova. They are going for multiple objectives at the same time, whereas Nova are kind of just trying to survive. Boom are just trying to survive, right? But again, the T1 into the mid lane, the Destructive Deluge.
Oh, the Destructive Deluge doesn't work, and Azar gets picked off, and they take the mid T1 as well. The Enlightenment doing some work, and they're going to do some damage, but Dragon is going to be killed, and Wendy with some amazing plays. The Ocean of Tears, the control, the damage, everything you want gets that double kill.
Bro, the positioning of Zuan being in the Clash lane, pushing that turret, and being in the right position really initiated a great crowd control moment.
Oh, massively, because they kind of then had to kind of second guess. Do we take the fight? Do we not take the fight? But they still mean to get the T2. It's standard. It's standard. It's got a little bit of motivational music going on in its ears just to keep itself going for now. But one little deathly look by the side of Nova Esports, it's gone.
Don't breathe on it. Don't breathe on it.
Okay, positioning-wise, Suwon knows 5 is here. Oh, okay. Maybe he was just trying to be safe, right? Let's go back to the replay. This was like the moment he wanted to pull off a play right onto the back line. Perfect position.
Yeah, Xuan was able to get in there right at the right time with a flash, with a Truth Mantra. Connects it. Double kill coming through to Wendy as well. So a lot of damage coming from the front and the back. We see that the Overlord is going to be taken here by Nova Esports. It's not like they needed it, right?
I think right now they just want to keep on manipulating the waves as they have been doing. Like, and the lead slowly it's building up on their side. It looks like Miggy here has been spotted by Suwon.
Oh, the first ram connecting onto 2. Looks like they want to go. CY Half-Life Umbrella Outburst pushing him away. CY's the low one. The couple blades doing some work. The Wind Slash a little off the mark. Nova Esports just kind of zoning them away. Looks like they're going to take the top T2. They do have a Vanguard pushing with it.
Yeah. Kind of thinking how the Lianpo shine here, like the Lianpo and the I'm only thinking 2 ways here to survive this team fights and maybe initiate something from the back. So looking at by the items here, we're looking at the first scepter being built up by the gun and but to go back on my point there, how will they get into the back line of Nova right now?
I think you got to use a Jizzix. Let him initiate, attract all the attention. Hopefully everybody starts coming in because he is a bit tanky. They're going to need that range damage. Hopefully they start to group up, and then Impressive can kind of go over the top with a Tremor Smash. I mean, that's like best case scenario in a team fight.
Speaking of best case, man, like they're really doing cleanup right now, Boom Esports, and they would really need an objective out of Nova as of this moment. They're building as well as like a close to like a 7K goal lead, and we're looking at the Vision Sprite. This is a new thing on the battlefield right now, a new mechanic, so it's available from 17th to the 31st. Go ahead and catch it in your game, because now Nova Esports, so much control, so much manipulation in the waves as well. How can Boom Esports to commit to isolate 1?
This is where you kind of see dominant teams come through, right? This is the mechanics that they play for. They know what is needed as a win condition into these. Well, I wouldn't say Boom is a weaker team. They're just a little bit more less prepared into these team fights. In the BP, quite questionable. The Lianpo not taking off the Masashi early on and letting the Dharma go through, right? So it's kind of like they expect that they are going to be able to counter Xuan on the Dharma and not expect those backdoor plays that we've been seeing time and time again from this player. But again, it's great to look in hindsight, right? It's nice to have that feature.
Yeah, I just feel like Boom Esports, I mean, it might not have been the greatest pick, that Lian Po, but it's more of like, he's so comfortable on it. Let him play something that he wants to play, and just like, maybe it can make it work.
Yeah, that's the question. Like, how will they make the lineup work now against Nova Esports? We're at the same situation in game number 1. They're at the mercy of their high ground towers. 2 high ground towers left for Boom Esports, and they're willing to just keep on going. Nova here not leaving any trace of food, and Boom Esports completely starving once again.
It's just a classic strategy, right? As soon as you get like 2 lanes down to the high ground turret, you then kind of do the damage at the high ground turret, you go back, you clear the wave, so even if Boom Esports gets a way out of that fight, there's nothing to collect. There's no collecting past go, right? They have the Crimson, but they don't have the Azure, which is a lot more vital for the side of the Jizzix. They're able to take the neutral objective as well. The Shadow Tyrant going over, and the Overlord, man. Save something for Boom!
Too much, man. Like, this is just too much. Somebody's gonna go home and eat on midnight, but this is not like the case for Nova Esports. They just want to be full here and just work everything out. With the waves pushing in, they're really keeping Boom Esports just in their base by not getting any plays at all. This is just so hard right now.
Yeah, I thought they were going to give at least the red buff away, but Waypit actually smites it and takes that away. So again, just, you know, less food for Boom Esports.
He extended the olive branch, right? And then completely just denied it straight away. He's like, you know what? No, I'm taking it back. I'm taking it back. Offers off the table.
So this is like, how will they reach it with this? We can't go any further. Like, how Nova Esports would really want to take this game away again for Boom Esports. Look at the position of Suwon. He's eyeing to do something once again in the back line. Will they be able to defend that position that Suwon has been doing? Because right now Nova slowly eyeing on the last high ground tower with the enhanced Overlord too. Nova is not just wasting any more time. They have taken every defenses as well.
Yeah, but it looks like it's going to be a slow siege here. Impressive, all the weapons front. They're doing some damage. The Unbridled Outburst is going to be used, but the Impressive with a nice 3-man stun. Azar is going to be killed though. Juan looking to go for the return. Mickey's going to be killed in return. Nice 2-man knock up again. Dragging down for the count, and Nova Esports so clean, so good. Take game 2.
Yeah, super clean, man. That late game, that last little team fight between the Crystal and the 2 teams was definitely a Nova special. Schwan into the back line. The Unbridled Outburst from an untrained eye looked like it whipped, but it didn't. It landed on Azar into the back lane. It stunned him so much to the point that he couldn't get out and do any damage to tear the side of Nova. So a really good play there, very calculated, a very